Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
We're at Traverse City Golf and Country Club with the brand new head golf pro, Scott Hebert. Scott, this is a major move for you. Tell us a little bit about your new gig.
Yeah, the job came open last November. I moved up to Traverse City originally trying to get this job almost 10 years ago. So it's funny how things work. The resort was nice enough to hire me, so I spent 9 great years over there, and looking forward to a new chapter here at the Traverse City Golf and Country Club.
Well, it's an interesting new chapter in that it's a private club and the course is different. Tell us a little bit about the course itself.
Oh, the golf course is fantastic. Turns 100 years old this past June, so it's been around a while. We did some really cool events. We had a Hickory Club event that tied into the centennial celebration. So it's been a very busy year to start a new job,
Really,
but
yeah.
so far things are going well, and looking forward to a long career here.
Well, one of the things with a private club is you get to meet many members, and one of the things you do is give lessons. How's that working out?
The lesson, there's been a high demand for it. I've been probably a little bit busier than I need to be for my first year on the job, but it's a great way to interact with the members, get to know them, and start to develop those relationships that are required at a private club.
Well, it's interesting because you're a name they probably are familiar with because you've won the Michigan Open 6 times. Is that right?
Yep, that is correct. 6 times right across town. So a lot of the members were already students that would come visit me over at the resort. So it's nice that we can have kind of home games here. So it's been a little bit of a challenge on my golf game, but as I get older, that game's a challenge anyway. So
It's supposed to be.
right on.
Yeah. Well, Scott, also you are a recent inductee of the Michigan Golf Hall of Fame. What was it like being at that ceremony?
Yeah, quite an honor. I went in with Kelly Robbins, Dave Kendall, and Mr. Davies, all fantastic players. And it's a great class to be in, and to get acknowledged into the Michigan Golf Hall of Fame is really a complete honor. The club did a nice thing for me. They had a replica of the plaque made, and they're going to hang it here. So it's nice that hopefully that I have not done winning, but you never know. And what I can look back on is a nice accomplishment.
Well, you've had, in addition to the Michigan Open, some other great wins. I forget the official name of the Club Pros tournament, and we watched you play at the PGA tournament at Whistling Straits a couple of years ago.
The highlight of my career is winning that professional national championship down at Reynolds Plantation. Great golf course, great event. You measure yourself against your peers that way, and it's really our major championship for club professionals. So to have one of those Walter Hagen trophies is a nice thing to have.
It's a Walter Hagen trophy.
That's the name of the trophy, right? And with the history here, it's kind of crazy how he kind of ended his career in his life up here in northern Michigan, and he's a very big name here at the club. We have lots of memorabilia about Mr. Hagen, so to have that trophy in here along with it is kind of cool.
Well, that's really special. That's really cool. And so, some of the other things I was thinking about, the Club Pros had kind of a Ryder Cup style tournament that you were involved in?
Yeah, every other year, it's the same lady that runs the Ryder Cup, runs the PGA Cup.
Oh.
And it's Great Britain, Ireland. It's not all of Europe the way that the Ryder Cup is. So the U.S. has a little bit of an advantage, and I think it shows in the records. But it's a really neat event. I was fortunate that the year that I qualified for the team, we were over in Scotland, and that was a real treat for my wife and I to get over there and play golf. And
What course was it, Scott?
Loch Lomond.
Okay. So, what was it like playing on that one? It must have been a links-style course.
Well, it was a park-style course, so we kind of kidded about it that we went over there and played a golf course that's traditional that we'd see here in the U.S. The bunkering's a little bit different, and they make bunkers a little bit more penal than we do here. So, but just the castles and the scenery and the locks and all that stuff, it's really a treat to get up close and personal to that Homa golf stuff.
You mentioned locks. Any monsters around?
Didn't see any. I looked. My wife was on a boat and she didn't see one either. So.
Oh, too bad. So, what are some of the tournaments you'll be looking forward to coming up in the next couple years?
Well, in the next couple of years, the big one that I always try and look forward to now is that Professional National Championship. That's really if you had to put one on the schedule, that's where it is. The Michigan Opens, it's a funny time of the year. Not having played a lot, you're up against kids that are hitting it a little further now that don't lay up and things like that. So the venue has to be right for me to play well on there. It has to reward shot makers a little bit more than just length, and so the PNC will be a big one. The section championships, I'd like to win a few more of those before it's all said and done. This year down at Egypt Valley will be the next time that I play. So
that sounds like fun too. So, since you mentioned your game, I guess the Bear was kind of meant for your game because you won so many Michigan Opens on that one.
Yeah, if I could pick a course for me to play, it would be the Bear. You have to control your distance as well. The par fives are all pretty much reachable for most of the players in the field. And when it's dry and fast, it's you really have to control your ball, and that's really one of the strengths of my game, is being able to control the distance of my clubs into the green to very small greens. So it always worked out well for me. The current venue at Prestwick Village, it's a beautiful golf course, nice place, but it's open and it really rewards longer hitters. So
it looks like looking for a Dustin Johnson on that one, right?
Well, he hits it pretty straight and long, so I think he does well anywhere he plays.
Well, it's interesting. I think a lot of people watching golf on TV don't understand how different individual golfers' games can be, and that's part of what's fun about watching the Michigan Open.
Sure, absolutely. We don't have the ability of those guys that you see on TV, but there is golfers that have different strengths and different weaknesses, and when the golf course matches up and it's your turn to win, then you go ahead and win it.
You make it sound so easy. Your turn to win. Well, you've had quite a few turns, and we look forward to seeing a few more. Thanks for talking with us.
You bet, Jennie. Thank you.
You're welcome.